welcome. If you are new to my channel, I am Dr. Show. If you're coming from the other video, in this video I'm going to be talking about the sources of zinc and some of the supplements and which one is actually best for you. So stay tuned. Okay, so if you've watched my other video, we've talked about the basic knowledge about zinc and things like that, and how it's not stored in the body, and how the deficiency of it, what it'll show up like, and also the important things that zinc does in our body in general. Now, the good thing is we only need a trace amount of zinc to perform all of these many functions that we've talked about in the other video. So you don't really need to go eat a heaping full plate of zinc to get these benefits. Well, now that we're talking about it, how and where do we get our zinc? The number one source of zinc is actually oysters. Now, some people eat it raw. I personally cannot eat it raw. I just can't, no. It doesn't work for me. It won't pass here. I absolutely need it cooked. I need it cooked, char grilled, fire grilled, however I like to cook. I love it when they serve it in the shells with the seasoning and things like that. It's absolutely delicious. So oysters are actually the number one source of zinc. Since you only need a trace amount of zinc, what does that trace amount sound like? Actually, you only need between 18 and 14 milligrams of zinc a day to perform all of the function that's needed. So depending on if you are a kid, if you're an adult, if you're a breastfeeding female, if you're a pregnant female, if you're an elderly patient, things like that, the milligrams will differ a little bit. But the max usually is 14 milligrams a day. Now, oysters, again, being the number one source of zinc, is absolutely phenomenal when eaten, if you could eat it as much as you need to eat or as much as you enjoy it. The cool thing is 6 oysters will provide you with a whopping 52 milligrams of zinc. Now remember, usually the average max of zinc that you need a day is about 14. So you're getting 52 from half a dozen oysters. That is absolutely awesome. Now, if you can eat oysters every day, that's good for you. I don't know that a lot of people eat oysters every day. Perhaps maybe if you live in by the seashore, or you're just a seafood fanatic, perhaps you eat oysters every day and you have no worries about zinc. But if you don't, there are also other sources of zinc. The number 2 source of zinc is red meat, or maybe more specifically, beef. Even better, grass-fed beef. That's usually a really, really great source of zinc. Now, a 5-ounce piece or portion of red meat will provide you with 15 milligrams of zinc. So if you have a 5-ounce portion at lunch or at dinner, you're already good for the day. And so if you think about the steaks that you get at these steak houses, they come in 8 ounces, 12 ounces, 16 ounces. If you get a porterhouse or you get a huge, humongous T-bone steak, you're getting more than enough zinc. So that's the number 2 source of zinc. If you eat at least a 5-ounce serving of red meat or beef, specifically grass-fed beef, you would have gotten your daily requirement of zinc. The next source is chicken. So chicken, specifically actually dark chicken. Now, if you eat any part of the chicken, you're still going to get it, but if you want the rich portion of it, the dark part of the chicken will provide you with the most that the chicken can provide you. And so a 5-ounce serving of chicken will actually provide you with 3 milligrams of zinc. And so if you have chicken for lunch and some other form of zinc for dinner or anything like that, then you may be getting your daily requirement of between 8 and 14 milligrams of zinc. Now, if you're vegetarian and you don't eat meat, good sources are beans, lentils, nuts, pumpkin seeds. These are great sources, as well as dairy. But if you're a vegan, you have beans, nuts, pumpkin seeds, and things like that. Those will provide you with your daily requirement of zinc. Now, keep in mind, if you have had any sort of GI surgery, so maybe gastric bypass or any other GI issues, if you have liver disease like cirrhosis or hepatitis or things like that, if you have inflammatory bowel syndrome, things like that that affect the absorption of zinc, patients with those may actually come up with a deficiency in zinc. And like I said in my last video, some of the signs and symptoms of a deficiency may start to show up. And so if you have some of those, you may want to check with your primary physician or your family doctor to check to see what your zinc levels are. Maybe, perhaps, you may be deficient after all in this mineral. Of course, other than just having the malabsorption of zinc, it's just not eating enough. That could also cause you to be deficient. If you're not eating enough foods that will provide you with the zinc, you could ultimately be deficient. Now, specifically for pregnant women and breastfeeding, make sure you're talking to your physician about making sure that your zinc levels are on point. Because of course you're growing another human, congratulations, but then that human is also depending on that zinc intake. So you may need to have it increased. So make sure you talk to your physician to have that level checked to make sure that you're fighting off any diseases. Because right now, as a pregnant person, you are immunocompromised. And so you want to make sure that whatever immune system that you have working for you is at least at tip-top shape. Especially during this time with the coronavirus and everything, we want to make sure that you are taking the optimal amount of vitamins and minerals that you need to stay healthy. So, if you are not going to take any of the foods that will provide you with the zinc, how can you get zinc supplements? In the market, there are tons and tons and tons of zinc supplements. So I'm just gonna name them all out, and we'll just talk about which ones are usually the best and most common and what they come in what forms they come in, and etc. So we have zinc picolinate, zinc gluconate, zinc acetate, zinc citrate, zinc orotate, and zinc sulfate. Now, the best absorbed one is zinc picolinate. And that's because it's chelated or attached to picolinic amino acid, and that increases the absorption of zinc in the body. This is only available through prescription, and it's usually used with pregnant women if they see that there's a deficiency in zinc with them. The OBGYN may prescribe this to help with absorption. The most common supplemental form that zinc comes in is the zinc gluconate and zinc acetate. The zinc gluconate is the most affordable, it's the cheapest out there in the market, and they usually come in lozenges. The same thing with the acetate, they usually come in lozenges. Again, these are the most common ones, but if you wanted them in capsule form, they have to be prescribed to you by a physician. And then you have zinc sulfate, which is usually used for the treatment of acne. Then you have the zinc citrate. It's really, really good for absorption. It is also chelated to citric acid, but it does leave a little bit of a metallic taste, a little nasty taste in your mouth. So some people may not like that. All right, so now if you're taking zinc supplements, it is good to let you know that you also need to take a copper supplement. If not, it may not work the best. And so you have to take it in a 10-to-1 ratio, meaning for every 10 milligrams of zinc, you have to take 1 milligrams of copper. But don't worry, if you're getting a prescription from your physician, they will be able to figure this out and give you the appropriate prescription. If you're taking it over the counter, just make sure you're taking your appropriate supplements anyway. And I like the capsule form because, then you can open it if you want to and just use the powder in whatever form, smoothie, food, or just take the entire capsule on its own and you're good to go. For any of these that I'm talking about, please speak to your healthcare provider if you are concerned about it and let them give you the most current depending on your presentation. If you're going to go buy a multivitamin, then get one that is an all multivitamin and not just one, because if you're just taking zinc, you may be deficient in other vitamins that you don't know about. So a good multivitamin may be sufficient for you. Thank you guys for sticking with me. I really appreciate it. Again, it's the Fly for Doctor. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Don't forget to check out the playlists that are going to pop up. And make sure, please, that if you enjoyed this video, you subscribe to this channel as well. Share and like this video. And like I said, leave a comment down below. You can follow me on Instagram. Again, it's the Fly for Doctor. So now that we've talked about all the zinc, How are you going to try to increase your zinc supplement, or at least make sure that you're taking your recommended 8 to 14 milligrams of zinc a day? I'd like to know, so leave a comment about that below. Again, thank you. It's always great hanging out with you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.